Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome. My name is Host Name, and I've spent my career right at that fascinating intersection of hospitality and technology. I am absolutely thrilled to be speaking with all of you today, the next generation of industry leaders from the Europe Hotel School. What we're going to get into today is how artificial intelligence is helping us solve one of the oldest, most persistent challenges in our industry, staffing. So, here's a quick look at our roadmap for this session. First, we're going to unpack that classic staffing puzzle, something that has kept hotel managers up at night for decades. Then, we'll look at how AI offers a truly modern solution by getting incredibly good at predicting demand. After that, we'll explore the amazing benefits this brings, not just for the hotel, but for the employees too. And finally, we'll talk about something that's so important, how this technology actually enhances the human touch instead of replacing it. All right, let's begin with a fundamental challenge, for any hotel leader. One of the trickiest puzzles you have to solve day in and day out is having the perfect number of staff on the floor at the exact right moment. When you get it right, everything just flows. But when you get it wrong, well, the consequences are immediate. It really is a high-stakes balancing act. And that balancing act, it really just boils down to one critical question that managers are grappling with every single day. Are we overstaffed? Or are we understaffed? It sounds so simple, right? But the answer has huge consequences for the business, for your staff, and most importantly, for the guest experience. As you can see so clearly here, there is just no winning when you get this calculation wrong. On one side, if you're overstaffed, you're looking at wasted labor costs that are just eating away at your profits. But on the other side, if you're understaffed, your team gets completely exhausted and overworked. And that stress? It always trickles down to frustrated guests who feel like their expectations for service just aren't being met. For way too long, scheduling has been done based on habit or maybe some intuition, kind of a best guess approach. But as you're all learning here at the Europe Hotel School, that just isn't sustainable anymore. It's way too imprecise for the competitive world of modern hospitality. And this, of course, brings us to the solution. The modern way of doing things involves a massive shift, moving away from that old guesswork and moving towards a strategy that is precise, proactive, and completely driven by data. This is exactly where artificial intelligence comes into play. At the very heart of this solution is what we call the demand-based staffing model. What it does, essentially, is use powerful AI to analyze tons of data and predict guest activity with incredible precision. This lets the hotel perfectly align its staffing levels, which gets rid of both the financial waste and those gaps in service. So, you're probably wondering, how does this technology actually create such accurate predictions? Well, it's not magic, but it is a very logical, data-heavy process. So let's take a look under the hood. The whole process really happens in 4 key steps. First, the AI ingests data. It connects right into your property management system, your PMS, and your point of sale, or POS systems. But then it goes further, pulling in outside data like weather forecasts, what local events are happening, even flight schedules. Second, it analyzes all of that information together, finding these complex patterns and trends that a human manager would honestly never be able to spot. Third, based on all that analysis, it predicts future demand with amazing accuracy. And finally, it uses that forecast to generate what we call an agile schedule, a totally dynamic staffing plan that perfectly mirrors the predicted flow of guests. Let's use a real-world example to make this clearer. Let's say the AI sees from your PMS data that a big corporate conference is staying at the hotel. It knows this is going to cause a huge surge in breakfast covers, so the system will automatically recommend adding more server shifts for the morning, while maybe at the same time reducing staff for what it predicts will be a quiet lunch period. It's proactive, you see, not reactive. And the impact of this intelligent scheduling goes way beyond just making things run smoothly. It actually creates really significant benefits for both the hotel's management and its employees. It helps build a more sustainable and positive work environment for everybody involved. This is really where we see that perfect win-win situation. For management, you're talking about more efficiency, optimized labor costs, and guaranteed legal compliance. For the employees, the benefits are just as powerful. They get more flexibility, they can easily swap shifts using an app on their phone, and they get a much better work-life balance. And we all know a happier team always delivers better service. And on that topic of compliance, these AI systems are specifically designed to stamp out those common but really harmful scheduling practices. A perfect example is something called closening. That's when you schedule someone to close late one night and then have them come back to open early the next morning.
The AI is programmed with all the labor rules to automatically flag and prevent this, which protects your employees' well-being and keeps the hotel out of trouble.
Okay, now for our final section. And honestly, this might be the most important one. It's absolutely crucial to understand that the goal of this technology in hospitality is not to replace people. It's to empower them, to free them up to deliver an even higher level of service. This quote here, it just captures the whole philosophy perfectly. Ensure the human touch is always available without the financial waste of idle hours. By letting AI handle all the complicated logistics of scheduling, we free up our teams to focus completely on what they do best, creating those exceptional, memorable experiences for our guests. So as you all prepare for your amazing careers as leaders in this industry, I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. In this age of ever-increasing guest expectations, is the intelligent use of technology the new, essential key to delivering consistent 5-star service? I truly believe it is. Thank you so much for your attention.